I think it's honestly really tacky and low-key woman hating to be super anti using shop my links or like to know it links.
We're saying things like it's anti-women, it's low-key women hating to not use people's affiliate links. Influencers, they're being persecuted. It's happening in real time. Who's going to speak up for them?
The reality is the same businesses saying they don't want influencers are often the same ones hoping someone posts about them.
Come on. It's very out of touch to be like, you need influencers. You can't do anything without influencers.
If you're trying to fight an anti-creator, anti-influencer battle, you are going to lose. We are the new celebrities.
All they care about is money. It's the center of their universe. They don't care who they have to step on. This is the most anti-woman thing I've ever seen.
Just say you hate women. Just say you hate being a girl's girl. Just say you don't like girlhood.
Ironically, girlhood is talking to other people and be like, where'd you get that? And then you tell them. You don't gatekeep. You don't say link in bio. Link in bio. Literally just go to my bio so I can make $10 off you. The influencers, they're finally speaking out, okay? On one of probably the most important topics yet. Influencer hate. It's unjustified, okay? They say people need to stop hating on influencers. And right now, influencers are fighting, unfortunately, a losing battle on the island of Nantucket versus a crafting basket store who has recently put up a no influencers sign. Influencers, you're banned from entry, okay? And this caused a humongous uproar and one of the biggest influencer scandals that we have seen, at least this year. So let's discuss. Oh boy. Well, here we are at the scene of the crime. So this is the Four Winds Craft Guild. So they make handmade baskets. They take apparently months to make. This is a very long-standing store on Nantucket. For about 100 years they've been in business, and apparently they cost thousands of dollars. Now I can only imagine what led them to feeling that it was necessary to put up a no influencer sign in their store. Influencers are officially banned from the basket store. Okay, look, guys, this is not a serious sign. This is very clearly like a tongue-in-cheek joke, like no influencer behavior allowed. It's a joke, okay? Whether or not you think that joke is funny, that's up to your discretion. That's your opinion, that's subjective, but it doesn't change the fact that it's clearly a joke. There's no way they can enforce this. They're not going to have a bouncer outside that's checking your Instagram and making sure that you're not an influencer. Like, this is a non-issue, or so I thought, because one influencer in particular had some major problems with the sign and wasn't afraid to say it. Paige Lorenz has broken her silence, and she's a pretty big influencer. She's got a lot on TikTok, even more on Instagram, and she is the founder of Dairy Boy. Coincidentally, about a week before the no influencer sign was erected, Dairy Boy actually opened up a storefront on Nantucket, basically right around the corner from the basket store. I know, this is getting wild. This is nuts. Now, if you're not familiar with Dairy Boy, they have nothing to do with dairy. Okay, spoiler alert, I know that might be upsetting to some people. Really, the only thing they have to do with milk is milking people for cash. It's a cash cow for people that want to basically achieve the Americana nostalgic East Coast old money style from China. Actually, I think that it just hit a little bit close to home. Paige ended up taking the no influencer sign pretty personally. She was not happy with the no influencers post. She felt like it was an attack on her, and I gotta be honest, this really reminds me of one of my other favorite things that ever happened, which was a while ago, someone on TikTok made a video, not naming any names, but they were just like, yeah, all these NYC influencers are so boring. They all wear the same hand chain. They're wearing the same clothes. They do the same things. Like, there's no substance. It's just everyone's so boring. No names were named. What do you know? The next day, it was like all hands on deck. The drums of war were beaten. All these NYC influencers came out and they go, how dare you? How dare you call me boring? And it was like, okay, so here's the thing. No one actually named you. But if the shoe fits, then I suppose you can wear it. And I think that the same thing is true in this situation as well. No one said anything about you. You're just assuming that. I think that it's intellectually dishonest to pretend like we don't all know why the term influencer has become synonymous with bad behavior. It's pretty obvious what they're trying to get at with the sign. Like, don't do the stereotypical influencer stuff. That's it. It's like, it's not that serious, but it was. Paige comments on Four Winds Craft Guild's Instagram. We're taking down the Craft Guild. the Craft Guild. Let's see what she had to say. This is quite a paragraph. If you call yourself a feminist but proudly put up a no influencer sign, it's worth asking who you are attempting to delegitimize and why. Mocking women when they become powerful in a new industry isn't new. It's just a strange message coming from a store that celebrates a craft with such a rich history of women shaping the island and its economy. For those who don't know, the creator economy is overwhelmingly driven by women. Brands have shifted billions of dollars into creator marketing because it consistently delivers something that traditional advertising can't: trust, community, and measurable sales. One woman with a loyal audience can successfully launch a business at a scale that would have once required corporate backing and massive advertising budgets. That's a win. This sign isn't. So obviously at the end of that, she's basically referring to herself. This sign is clearly talking about me. We're really escalating things here. Calling it anti-feminist, we're calling it anti-woman. This is a no influencer sign. This is not discrimination. And it's really no different, in my opinion, than putting up a no solicitor sign or a no shoplifting sign. It's basically like, yeah, we don't want bad behavior in our store. Okay, that's it. Obviously don't come in here and disrupt other customers. Don't film people without their consent. Don't come in here with like a ring light or the flash on, or beg for free stuff, act like you're the center of the universe. Like, these are all things we know influencers do. Okay, and they're objectively wrong. Why are we making this now something that it's not?
The latest drama in Nantucket is about prejudice against influencers, and it was sparked by this quarter board put up at Four Winds Craft Guild and taken personally by this influencer, Paige Lorenz, who opened this store, Dairy Boy, which often has a long line and attracts the sort of young female customers that, to some critics, epitomize opportunistic influencer behavior. And that's what this piece of art speaks to.
Especially standing outside of a Dairy Boy where people are lined up for what I believe, in my opinion, are junky products. I consider it to be horribly constructed, overpriced, low quality junk. Allegedly, these are not fair trade suppliers when people have looked into the supply chains, which we'll get into later. But I think that it brings attention to what most people are criticizing influencers over, okay, which is the overconsumption.
This post and this piece of art touched on a feeling that a lot of local Nantucket business owners agree with. I made a video last month about how there's this uncanny feeling when you're on Nantucket about how you feel like you're in a nonstop marketing campaign because there are so many PR events and activations around every corner.
If you didn't know, Nantucket's basically become the new Montauk. It's the new Hamptons, okay? Every year, it seems, every quarter, influencers are choosing a new place to go and commodify and do consumerism activations there. Ironically, most of them have to do with exclusivity and like this old money aesthetic that everyone's obsessed with, okay? Lobsters on everything. Seashell necklaces and, oh God, I can't take it. I'm done. We gotta stop. LL Bean, Boat and Tote, CBK headbands. Anyway, yeah, so Nantucket's the new one. That's like the new place that people are like, they're going in there. It's like a tornado of influencer activity. In the wake of it, they leave just like a wreckage and then they move on to the next town. And so Nantucket is experiencing that right now pretty badly.
And that feeling, I think, is why this sentiment is resonating with so many local business owners. It's also happening in Martha's Vineyard, where people were protesting the Shop Bop pop-up. And this is not the first anti-influencer drama on Nantucket. Last summer, I made this video and was blocked by this influencer because I described how she had been house sitting and then pretending like it was her house to achieve this New England aesthetic influencer status. And then once that was established, coming to Nantucket and asking local businesses to give her free products and free services. And I recapped the Reddit where business owners were saying this is such entitled behavior.
I mean, this is what we're talking about. It's more so like we dislike influencer behavior, okay? We dislike influencer culture. Who does this? Who pretends to live in a house, does this whole curated feed, like fakes their lifestyle? Again, like people hate the fake lifestyle stuff. They hate constantly being pushed stuff. And then people begging for stuff when they already get so much for free. They're begging business owners. It's really not surprising that a store would get to this point where they put up a no influencer sign with stuff like this happening on a daily basis. This is objectively wrong, but we're acting as if it can't be criticized simply because they're women. This is not gender specific at all. If you do this kind of stuff, you deserve to be criticized. Plain and simple, okay? It's not good. It doesn't help people to see a successful woman influencer if the way that she's become successful is by scamming people out of money, for example, or not saying that's what Paige is doing. I'm just saying like MLMs, for example, or pushing overconsumption on people, which is destructive of women's lives. It's actually very women forward to say, knock it off. All right, guys. Well, this video was posted very shortly after, if not like the day that this was all unfolding. And it was clearly a response, which I'm making a distinction. It was clearly a response to like the Paige Lorenz, Nantucket, no influencer sign drama and discourse. Again, people are escalating this to like new heights we've never seen before. We're going all sorts of ways with it. So this was like a big talking point that people were discussing as this all unfolded.
I think hating influencers has become a socially acceptable way to hate women. And while there are obvious, valid reasons to criticize influencer culture, overconsumption, ads, conversation has now moved past hating on the industry, and people just seem to hate women who participate in it.
I thought a lot about this video because I'm like, what upsets me about this? I think this is an example of right message, wrong application. If this video came not off the heels of and clearly in response to the Paige Lorenz drama, like this is clearly defending Paige Lorenz and, you know, using that as basically like the argument for why she's saying people hate women. I do believe that mostly women are associated with the term influencer. Like I get that. I think that it's very real that women are subject to more criticism. This has been a tale as old as time, actually. This happens in industries outside of influencing as well, which is an important distinction. These are all things that are true, but I think the basis on which she's saying it and what she's trying to defend is the part that I have an issue with. I think that what is annoying and upsetting is that a lot of the same influencers right now that are crying out that this is anti-feminist, anti-women, off the heels of this no influencers drama, don't speak on those things that she clearly laid out as being bad behaviors. Like they don't talk about the overconsumption. Actually, they contribute to it. They don't talk about how disruptive and upsetting it is for people to be filmed without their consent, you know, constantly being sold to and shady undisclosed ads. Like a lot of those people right now who are saying this is anti-women, this is anti-feminist, this whole no influencer thing, are the same people that are also engaging in these things that are decidedly, objectively, even more anti-women than a no influencer sign. Beyond that, like there's something that just happened, okay? Just happened. And I've not seen these people speak about this, and I'm not saying that they haven't, but I have not seen these people speak about this, okay, or really anything else for that matter. They continue to add to the problems. So, you know, for example, this just happened, okay? Just happened. Great example.
When did cosmetic surgeries and enhancement become so commonplace that it's almost assumed as though every woman wants them? This is a question that I've really been pondering since receiving, honestly, a fairly disturbing PR package. I will show you this package. I think you're going to be rather shocked by it. And I received this PR package. I'm just going to show you part of it. Outside in the box had these scissors and blades and needles. That alone was already somewhat disturbing imagery, but then I opened it up. My heart sinks just talking about it. Honestly, it was just really shocking to see. To a photo of myself taken from a screenshot from my Instagram, a photo that I thought that I looked pretty in. I was trying really hard to be confident this day. So they took this screenshot from my Instagram and they drew on it.
This is from Tarte Cosmetics, and they've taken screenshots from influencers' social medias, selfies, and they have edited them with lines insinuating where to cut for surgery, for surgical procedures, like what you would need to get done. Okay, so they're doing the nose. Okay, make your nose slimmer, make your cheekbones like more pronounced. You need a snatched jaw. They're sending out this stuff. Guys, this is the most anti-woman thing I've ever seen. But yet, I guarantee we're going to continue to see influencers going on tripping with Tarte trips and using Tarte products. By the way, we all agree women should not be discriminated against. Easy. Okay, we all agree women should not be criticized unfairly. Easy stuff we can all agree with. It's so easy. Okay, and rather than being divisive in the way that this conversation has become, it's like, what are the things we can agree with? This is something every influencer should be upset with. Who is more subject to being pressured into doing cosmetic procedures than women? Okay, this is exactly why when another influencer, big influencer, was pushing and saying that shaving your body was feminine hygiene, okay, I had an issue with it. We talked about it. Like, it's important to set the record straight on these types of things. Like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Yet we don't hear influencers talk about this. To me, forgive me, if it seems like the support of like this Paige Lorenz thing just feels like an easy way to outsource accountability. They don't want to actually put their money where their mouth is and, you know, forego the Tarte trips or the PR packages or, you know, the sponsorship deals with these companies that are actually hurting women.
Places that I could be more snatched using their product. However,
Disgusting.
as you can see, it's drawn on with a dotted line, and because there was blade and needle imagery on the packaging, it's insinuating that this is like where a surgeon would cut if they were gonna redo my face. Okay, the photo of me made it incredibly personal. And it also came, again, I'm not going to show this, with a list. You're just going to have to trust me on this. It says prescription treatment plan, upper bleph, rhinoplasty, jaw lift, Botox.
And this is from a beauty company that sells makeup, is sending out these PR packages, insinuating that you would need an upper bleph, rhinoplasty, jaw lift, Botox. Can we get a call to arms about this, please?
So obviously I need all these surgeries, but guess what? Oh, yay, I don't need the surgeries. I just need this brand's product. And it's going to replace all those surgeries that, of course, I need right here, right where they drew on the dotted line.
Yeah, so here's the product. For a small price of $26, you too can have body Tarte Cosmetics, upper bleph, nose job, lip flip, okay, jaw lift. I'm disgusted. And I mean, everybody should be disgusted by this, that they're trying to push this on people. And, you know, this is the type of thing, again, this is objectively anti-women. Clearly, we can all agree. All of us see that this is wrong. It's just disgusting. This has to be the new Tarte product. So gross and inappropriate. What were they thinking? This is, by the way, one of the worst things I've ever seen in terms of PR. It's awful. So happy you're speaking on this. Marketing should empower women, not make them question faces that were never broken to begin with.
Knowing what I know about influencer marketing and how these things have to get approved by teams and by people on the influencer marketing team, not even that, just the marketing team in general.
By the way, the box says your 3 p.m. just opened up or something along those lines, like being like, yeah, it just opened up because you don't need to go anymore. You can get all these things through our product. Like, what a sick world we live in.
Knowing that this got approved to get shipped out to numerous creators of all shapes and sizes and colors, I don't see how anyone could have said yes to this personally without offending the receivers of this. This is not a gift.
I think ironically, the people that are the loudest about this, like, what have they said about, you know, these other things that are so wrong? I've seen a lot of women who have been on these tripping with Tarte trips who have not said anything about these PR packages. They don't want to talk about overconsumption. They can acknowledge that it's bad. They can acknowledge how people are annoyed with it and upset by it and how it is harmful to women. This is the only time that they've actually been moved to like speak in this way on this topic. So it's frustrating. If this were not made in defense of Paige Lorenz and the Nantucket drama and the no influencer sign, it would be a much more productive conversation. But I think knowing that and like why the video is being made is unfortunately detracting from the overall message here. And I think another thing, unfortunately, that detracts from the message is, again, this is the type of stuff, okay? Just saying. A few posts before this, same influencer did a Victoria's Secret paid partnership. I'm not asking for perfection, but like Victoria's Secret is systemically, infamously known for being, you know, pretty anti-women, to use the relevant terminology here, okay? It was all detailed in this New York Times article, Angels in Hell, the culture of misogyny inside Victoria's Secret, okay? Detailing all types of horrors that women were experiencing, exploitation, harassment, the owners of this company and the associations. Gross. Okay, look into those. I'll link this down below. A lot of the marketing for many years contributing to negative body image issues to women and, you know, forcing those upon people. We can't say things are anti-feminism and then engage ourselves with things that are so antithetical to the ascension of women and allowing us to fight for seats at tables that we deserve to be at, and we've always deserved to be there, to allow us to dream bigger, to inspire independent thought in our lives. We have come so far, but in a lot of ways, this feels like a step back to do these types of things. Just saying. And it's like, again, these are things that we all clearly see, but influencers are asking us to dispel what we see, like ignore obvious inconsistencies with their arguments and with their behavior for the sake of like, well, women need to support women. It's like, well, no, but this is not good, but this hurts me. This hurts me. You're lying, or you're doing something shady, or you're doing something, dishonest. And then they're like, no, I'm a woman. And then here we go. Okay, Paige Paul. Thank you, Levi, my smart, beautiful queen. And all these influencers start, coming in and they're like, thank you so much. Yes. And then, just, you gotta love it. But yet every single person that agrees has a blue check. I think that hating of influencers comes from the fact that many of you have become so out of touch without realizing it. Okay. So there's a valid point within there, which is like, guys, your audience is telling you that you don't feel in touch with reality anymore. And instead of like addressing those honestly and even like having some humility and changing that behavior, it's like, no, we're gonna get angry, we're gonna double down, we're gonna accuse everyone, okay? We're gonna make blanket statements that everybody hates women. Come on. So much of the hatred towards influencers come from people resenting women for being well compensated for the kind of labor we've always been expected to do for free. Guys, again, like there is a really good and productive conversation to be had within the framework of women are criticized unfairly, and influencers are sometimes like maybe prejudged, or if they get the sense that you're an influencer, if you make content online, people automatically think like you're a vapid idiot, okay, which is not fair. But this is not one of those times, okay? Let's be clear. Influencer is kind of a swear word now. It's scammy. No longer can people trust what is being presented to them as authentic. There used to be an intimacy between the person presenting their art and their lifestyle, and that is no longer there. It is performative, and there is always some marketing and profit to be made on the backs of the audience. I think the anger is more of a reflection of the frustration people feel working their tails off for people to play around and get stuff to try to peddle to the working class. It's never okay to be cruel or attack another human being, but I don't think influencers are victims here. Again, there was another situation where there was a huge discrepancy between what were the influencers saying. They were like, yeah, go girl, you tell them. And then the audience was feeling a different way. Okay. And then what happened? Well, she limited the comments on the post. Okay. So like, people that were trying to engage in this conversation, she was, in essence, people felt silenced. I'm reporting the news. Okay. So it's just felt ironic. So you guys want to talk about like, women should be able to speak and we should all have a conversation. And, I think this was a really good opportunity as well for influencers to like hear some genuine feedback. It's really invaluable to get this type of feedback from people. It's like, these are the types of behaviors that we don't like to see anymore. And here's actually what we would like to see instead. Like this whole no influencers debacle actually has offered influencers a unique opportunity to actually not be named specifically, but have the ability to watch the discourse unfold and then reflect on, the way that they operate or find ways to become more ethical in their approach or more authentic in their approach. So kind of interesting. And then we've got Paige Paul. Okay. So some influencers are reflecting and then some are actually not. Okay. Hey, good morning. So I'm dying on this hill. Even if the sign wasn't about me, that wasn't my point. It's about what the sign represents culturally right now. And please spare me with the, it just meant no obnoxious photos and ring lights argument. I've seen maybe 20 influencers on Nantucket in my entire life. The overwhelming majority of obnoxious people I've met in my life have had nothing to do with influencing. Okay, so you guys, Paige Paul hasn't seen anybody. No influencer on Nantucket. Paige Paul anecdotally has let us know. Okay, so it must be true. And all the people she's met, they're obnoxious. It can't possibly be herself. It's other people. This was never about ring lights. It was about how people have decided one profession dominated by women is socially acceptable to stereotype, ridicule, and in this case, blame for a beautiful place becoming more popular. And by the way, I've watched people make that exact same complaint every summer since I was 6 years old. The world and island has bigger issues than girls excited taking photos of their ice cream. The ending part of this is the worst part. The world and island has bigger issues than girls excited taking photos of their ice cream. By the way, we're only here, like, yeah, you're right, there are bigger problems in the world, but you decided to get like really upset. Like, ironically, you're the one who got super upset. That's why we're all here right now, actually, because you freaked out about a no influencer sign. Okay, which like objectively does not matter. It's like not that big of a deal. To conflate it as it's just girls excited taking pictures of ice cream cones. Again, how many times do we have to show like actual real that's bad that influencers are doing or brands are doing that's happening in the influencer culture to women? You seem very disingenuous when you try to make it seem like it's as simple as people are taking pictures of their ice cream cones when you know damn well that there are serious issues that people take with influencers at the current moment.
Women Don't get distracted. Do not get distracted. She is not your enemy. She is not your enemy. I am not your enemy. I don't understand this hate for each other. I click on any video, a woman, you go to the comments, and it's just disturbing. It's like disturbing how you guys treat each other. This is not what I stand for. This is not what many women stand for. You just love. Oh my God. Love, 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 love. Just try it. Just try it.
Maybe this conversation wouldn't feel so divisive if you didn't label every single person who has had valid criticisms of influencers as women haters. Typically, people don't like that. Okay? They don't. You can't use language like that. You can't make general, broad sweeping statements like that. It doesn't work out well.
Give yourself that gift of just choosing to love, just choosing to uplift.
Yeah. Post controversial opinion piece. Turns off comments so there's no discourse. Yeah, this is just what people are saying. I love women too. My issue with influencers is that you all have the power to change the world and you choose not to. People just were like, girl, it's a little bit ironic that we open up this whole discussion about women that I think a lot of women are happy to have it. I think a lot of women are, it's maybe long overdue to have. But then when like the discourse starts coming out, again, it's like, you guys just hate all women. Just try to love. You've never loved before.
I think it's honestly really tacky and low-key woman hating to be super anti using shop my links or like to know it links.
Okay, guys, we've reached end times here. Yeah, okay, so this is why I don't like these conversations that have nothing to do with like actual women's issues, okay? Because now we're going so far, we're veering so far off the road that we're saying things like it's anti-women, it's women hate, low-key women hating, to not use people's affiliate links. Guys, come on.
And I'm not even saying this as somebody who like is actively promoting my shop my or anything. I actually should be better at it. But I have seen so many videos of people being like, if I ask you where something's from and you tell me that it's linked in your bio, I'm actually going to go out of my way to never click the link in your bio ever.
Yeah, it's valid. You know why? It's just so ironic. Influencers can't even see it because they're so like Mr. Krabs, money, 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 money. Okay, me $1 millionth dollar. Like that's what they act like. One thing that they're doing is they're taking a typically like very wholesome connection that women have, which is like, hey, where'd you get that? You look so cute in that. Where'd you get it? And instead of influencers or people online like just connecting back and being like, hey, I got it from here, they're like, link in bio, not selling you unless you buy it off my link. Like they gatekeep constantly. So instead of having like a wholesome interaction and just like connecting with people online, it's about money. They've managed to remove all of the human connection part of it. And now it's low-key women hating though.
Okay, so when you see something that somebody is wearing that you like, they did the sourcing for you. They spent the time, which by the way, time is money. They spent the time to find outfits that look cute and that might be unique. And you get the ability to surpass all of that extra time that it takes to find the perfect outfit and just wear what they were wearing.
It's not anti-woman to not use a shop my link. It's not anti-woman to not use somebody's like to know it.
The thing is that when someone wears something cute, oftentimes in their videos, there's hundreds of comments asking the same thing. Where's this from? Where's this from? Where's this from? The easiest thing to do is for them to be like, hey, it's linked. That's just first off easy. On top of that, they maybe get $10 from you ordering it.
It's a lot of money.
He's so anti. That is so weird to me. And you just say you hate women. Just say you hate being a girl's girl. Just say you don't like girlhood.
Girlhood is now rooted in consumption. You heard it here first, folks, okay? Ironically, girlhood is talking to other people and be like, where'd you get that? And then you tell them. You don't gatekeep. You don't say link in bio. Link in bio. Literally just go to my bio so I can make $10 off you. Okay, that's not girlhood. Just so we're clear. Just say you hate women. You're not a girl's girl. People have now weaponized like this girl's girl issue and they've used it as a shield for criticism. No women can be criticized. No women can be critiqued in any way. Okay, and this is why these conversations, if gone uncorrected, right? If we don't talk like about the reality of like, okay, the no influencer sign, not a big deal. They've now spiraled out of control so far that we're saying you got to use affiliate links or you're anti-woman, you're a woman hater. Okay. It adds to a divisive type of conversation that doesn't propel anyone forward. It just disrupts everybody. It distorts like what the goal is for all of us. And yeah, the thing that like this store didn't want is happening. Okay, influencers, again, they're being persecuted. It's happening in real time. Who's going to speak up for them? The no influencer sign is barring their entry. There's a magnetic force field that doesn't allow people that have over 10,000 followers to enter. They literally get like boomeranged back out and thrown across the street. And they're horrified. Okay, they are horrified that this injustice is happening to them. They're like filming outside the store, you know? This time with people actually inside the store trying to shop. Again, this is exactly like you're proving people's point. This is exactly why the store put it up. I mean, like, guys, don't make me defend $1,000 basket business. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in this position. I'm never buying these baskets. I don't care about the Four Winds Craft Guild. I don't. But like, you're giving me no choice. I don't want to defend this stupid ass store, but I have to because you're literally doing what they're saying. You're proving their point.
We are at the scene of the crime.
I gotta bring stuff up. I gotta defend my points here, okay? This stuff is happening on a daily basis, and we cannot act like it's not, okay? We cannot be so obtuse that we're like, guys, this is totally unjustified. There's people like this who are going in, filming with a ring light inside of a movie theater. Everybody was going to see The Odyssey. This was like opening weekend. She brings a ring light. She brings an entire bag of skincare and stuff. And she's filming herself with the flash on during this movie. She's filming kids in the background. And she's doing a whole skincare routine, spraying things in the air during the movie too, by the way. This is not just like a pre-thing. She's doing it during the movie. Filming herself. And everyone's trying to watch it, disrupting everybody else. It's like main character syndrome 10x. Okay, I'm so tired of influencer culture. Guys, we're tired of influencer culture. To say that it's anything but this or try to like contort and twist it into something that it's not, I think when you try to make it like a feminist issue, it devalues actual things that women experience, okay? Actual stuff that women have gone through and do go through. People are so desperate for attention, it's kind of insane at this point. See the movie at home, it's unhygienic, inconsiderate of the others around you. Everyone's pissed. Everyone's pissed. We can all see it. We all see it for what it is. Influencers like think we're the dumbest people on earth, apparently. Okay, they're asking us to betray what our own eyes are seeing in front of us. Okay, we see this every day on a daily basis. Every day we're seeing people doing like this. We see it in real life. We're experiencing it, and they're asking you to be like, no, guys, I know that you're experiencing this. I know this is happening, but you're wrong for criticizing us. Stop. Well, guys, as I said, even though this is clearly the most like open shut case closed, no one needs to be arguing about this. It should have never been a big deal. It never was, never will be. Influencers don't know that. Okay, they actually don't know that. Influencers still are, they're fighting back. They are fighting back. Okay, so the no influencer sign was a bad move. This is giving a whole new meaning to road mics.
Talk about the no influencers sign that a Nantucket store put up. Honestly, I think it was a bad move. The sign came right as Paige Lorenz opened at the Dairy Boy store, and whether it was directed at her or not, it sent the message that creators aren't welcome. And I don't think that's fair.
Guys, it's a joke. And you have the right to not laugh, but it's like a tongue-in-cheek jokester situation. Again, they're not going to be checking your Instagrams. You don't need to worry about that.
Paige's response was actually something that I agreed with. She pointed out that creators, especially female founders and influencers, have helped countless small businesses grow, stay discovered, and stay in business.
Okay, so, we got a problem here. No, we got a problem here. We can't do this argument of influencers are the only reason you guys are in business. Who do you think you are? You're making me defend a basket business, and I don't even want to do this, but I have to. Four Winds Craft Guild basket store has been in business for 100 years. I promise you, influencers are not keeping this store in business, okay? They're not. It's very out of touch to be like, you need influencers. You can't do anything without influencers. It's like, no. What is the business telling us? They've had so many negative experiences with influencers. They probably have influencers asking for free every day. I think they're good without influencers. I really do.
Social media isn't the problem. Disrespectful people is the problem. If someone blocks sidewalks, disrupts your business, or treats your town like a movie set, that's an issue. But blaming an entire industry because of a few bad actors feels incredibly short-sighted.
Is it a few bad actors? And as long as you don't do these behaviors, you're good. No one has a problem with you.
The reality is that influencers have become one of the biggest forms of modern marketing. The same businesses saying they don't want influencers are often the same ones hoping someone posts about them.
Come on. They've been in business for 100 years. 100 years. They're not asking people to post about them. I think that this is exactly the problem, that influencers are so egocentric that every business they go into, they assume that the business needs their help. They are bringing in all this business, so therefore they can act whatever way they want. They can act entitled and out of touch and rude because they're helping the business or whatever. They're bringing customers in or getting eyes on them. This is exactly how it manifested, is this line of thinking.
I just think the sign completely missed the point. What do you think?
I think it's not that serious is what I think.
You know what I find so funny about the article that came out about that place on Nantucket, the antique shop that sells baskets that had the no influencer sign in there? Is I had never heard, and I mean this respectfully, seriously, like I've been going there for 24 years. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. I had never heard of this store up until now, when ironically enough, it's because an influencer interacted with the post.
Well, then it must not be a legitimate business. Okay, yeah. Stop making me defend this place, please. I'm begging. Because you didn't know about it, that's our argument. We got to stop with like this influencers are the center of the universe mentality. It's just pissing everybody off. And I think a lot of these people think that like no businesses made any sales until influencers came into the fold. Like,
I just find it to be so backwards. Like some people are genuinely so backwards, and I will stand 10 toes on this because it is insane. Like always about something on the island.
Right now we're having this conversation about like our influencers being discriminated against. Are people being anti-women when they rightfully criticize influencers? Meanwhile, there's tons and tons of male influencers who are on podcasts openly advocating for women to lose their right to vote, and they're complaining about women being okay. These are real things that are objectively anti-women. But instead, we're all gathered here to discuss a sign, which was not naming anyone, not calling anyone out by name. Take it or leave it. You don't have to shop there. It's not that serious. Like it just never was that serious, because influencers with their humongous egos just want to outsource accountability. They don't want to be responsible for any criticism. And now they are just like grasping at straws, trying to do anything to get out of actually changing their behavior. And then his sister goes, oh, they activated Sammy. LFG. Let's go. The influencers are fighting back, and they're fighting back hard, guys. People just hate women. Okay. So a 24-year-old straight dude hasn't heard about a shop that sells baskets? Shocking. Meanwhile, everyone's like, we're sick of influencers. Okay. Look at the dichotomy here. His brother comments, yep, jealous they're not making bread with their basket business. Everything is about money with these people, by the way. All they care about is money. It's the center of their universe. They don't care who they have to step on. It's often through like seriously nefarious means. It's become very exploitative. That's another major criticism of influencers. And yet here they are, they're like, yeah, this basket business is mad that they're not making money like we are. That's like the most important thing in life to these people. Then we have Paige Lorenz. I love you so much. And then like contrasted with, we're sick of influencers, but they don't hear that part.
I think Paige just took it personally because like Paige is also like an OG influencer. And it kind of felt like with Dairy Boy being like a new store on Island, that it was kind of like a jab at her and her business doing well.
So
that's kind of how I read it.
So Paige wasn't called out specifically, but she responded to the no influence.
The harsh truth. Was she called out specifically? No.
If you're trying to fight an anti-creator, anti-influencer battle, you are going to lose. This is almost insane to say, but like we are the new celebrities. We are, and I hate saying that in such a term. I'm blessed and thankful for it, but that is the world that we live in now.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm a fly on the wall right now in the worst way. We get it. No, we get it. We actually do. We fully understand that you guys believe that you're the new celebrities. I mean, geez, come on. Really? Like, really? This is just a commentary that a lot of people have had where they're like, you know, it's just kind of interesting that this is the most passionate that a lot of these influencers have ever been about any topic. It's just like, really? I support no influencer signs.
Not only are businesses like this completely in the right, saying that being fatigued with influencer culture is just a more socially acceptable form of misogyny is like complete and utter nonsense, and also kind of offensive to the actual misogyny faced by women. Because first of all, from the business's perspective, like obviously let's use our common sense. They're not checking everyone's follower count as they walk through the door and turning them away if they have over a certain amount. They're just saying don't film in our store.
I can't believe we're here. Like, are we really here? Am I dreaming? Should I pinch myself? Come on. Why has it devolved to like insanity?
Because while not all influencers are created equal, and many of them are not based on constantly whipping out their cameras in public and pushing consumerism onto their audiences, for those who are,
nobody should be offended by this unless you're doing the things that stereotypical influencers do.
Many businesses don't actually want that. It is that assumption of like me featuring you in any capacity is automatically a good thing for you and you should be grateful that a lot of people are fatigued by. Because if a business doesn't need your exposure or is already happy with their client base, the only impact of having someone turn the store into a documentary is going to be annoying their current customers. And in many cases, diluting the value of their brand by bringing an entire new audience that is only there because they saw it on social media.
It's the ego, the influencer's ego. What was Mike Malak saying? They're the local celebrities now. They're the new supreme.
Yeah, like every third restaurant in New York City now where you have to like wait 4 months for a reservation because everyone on TikTok insists on going there and filming their entire meal. But beyond that, to take it to a level of you guys just hate influencers because you hate women is so insulting to me because A, as it pertains to this type of influencer, not only is their entire business model specifically built on exploiting younger women by constantly stoking the dual flames of inadequacy and consumerism.
Whoa, you're saying too much here, and it's too accurate.
Not only is their value proposition kind of uniquely built on being annoying in the sense that a lot of it, again, often requires filming in public without other people's consent or desire. I literally make videos for a living and I am just as annoyed as anyone else when I look next to me at a restaurant I'm paying good money for and see someone filming with their flash on for half the meal.
I also think that there's something sort of odd about like acting like women are so powerful but being like used by brands. Like a lot of these influencers are making money sort of like almost exclusively or predominantly by like doing ads for brands where the brand is telling them what to say and they're telling them exactly what to do and you got to do this, you got to do that. And it's like, is that like true liberation and freedom or are you just being made into a talking piece? I think there's power imbalances also in that relationship as well. So it's like, do women have as much power? I think that a productive maybe conversation to have is how can women get more leverage within brand deals? Like how can they get more power? It's like a more equal trade and they get to say exactly what they want and put it within their own content the way they want. But like we're not having those conversations. We're talking about a damn sign in a basket shop. We're going to war over the craft guild.
It is also just so disingenuous to conflate what is not only a completely elective but also relatively quite privileged career, something that is not all elective or optional, like immutable identity characteristics. It is bigotry to dislike you based on your immutable characteristics. It's not bigotry to dislike you because you do annoying.
Great point. We're getting lost in the sauce. Okay, we're getting lost in the sauce. Specifically, the sign is talking about behavior you can change. It's no different than a no shoplifting. It's no different than a no soliciting.
I, using critical thinking skills, assumed that what they meant was they don't want ring lights. They don't want people filming in the store. They don't want people coming and asking for free things in exchange for content. However, they should have said that instead of this.
I personally am not willing to concede on this point. We're all talking about a sign. They shouldn't have to put up any sign. Okay, people shouldn't be acting like this, but they are. Let's talk about the fact that they even felt the need to have to put up like this. Why are we infantilizing people and being like, they should have put up a no filming sign so people know, hey, just don't do it. That's the commentary about influencer culture. Just don't do it. Stop filming.
And the reason it all blew up, we now know, is Miss Paige Paul, formerly Lorenz, commented on their Instagram post. You can pause to read it if you haven't already. And she makes great points. I think that them saying no influencers and just putting a sign that blatantly discriminates against a giant group of people is insane. Because if you did that to a race or a gender or really any other group of people, there would be a massive uproar. The city would be burning.
We've officially gone there. We're saying it's discrimination now. We're saying influencers are being discriminated against. You're escalating things to a point that they did not need to go. In the same way that this devalues issues that women actually face, okay, an actual real life discrimination that women face and that people face because of their race or their age that fall under a protected class, we gotta be kidding here. It devalues actual discrimination that people face, okay, when you say things like this, because this is, again, clearly not. We're really going there.
So I think the way that they went about it was completely wrong.
No, I disagree. It's a good sign and they were right to put it up. No influencers. She goes, okay, so I can't go there? because I post online, even if I don't film the store and have a full-time job that isn't TikTok. Like, no one's saying you can't go in there. Are we being serious? I can't tell. Likening influencers to a lawfully protected group is crazy work. They're human beings and it's not right to discriminate either way. Also, lawfully protected groups people are also influencers. Every race and gender has influencers. Okay, you're not making any sense. But it's not the same. And we have to be very specific when we're talking about actual discrimination, actual anti-women things that are happening to people. We have to be very specific and we have to know exactly what these things are, because otherwise they get lost in translation. Okay, these conversations that are not rooted in reality do not help anybody. Somebody goes, I was with you until you equated this with actual discrimination. Yikes. It's a step too far. You're really just making this something that it's not.
The funniest thing about the Nantucket thing is how influencers are describing it as if it is 1940s Jim Crow, Deep South, and the sign says no Negroes. That is exactly how all of them are describing it. And it's so funny. It is hilarious to me. And mind you, this is also the only thing that they have actively spoken on in the current state of the world. That is the most active and advocating that they are being right now. And it's so funny to me.
Let's think about what people have really been through. Like the actual discrimination, and not even that long ago, that people were experiencing in terms of like human history. And we're actually like equating the two. Do you see how goofy this sounds when you think about like real stuff people experience? And we're up in arms about a no influencer sign. It's not to discount valid conversations. It's not to discount women facing criticism unequally or unjustly, like all valid. But when we compare it and contrast it to life-changing stuff, okay, not being denied entry to a basket store, but like real life, it kind of is like, come on, enough. If we're allowing no influencer signs in Nantucket, why not put no finance bro signs in every salad shop above 34th Street? Average influencer logic here, by the way. Yeah. Can we add no influencer signs in the Hamptons too? Come on. This logic is so broken and like it's not even, I don't even know where this is coming from. It makes no sense. You're making me defend finance bros now. I'm turning into somebody I don't want to be. Okay, but you're putting me in this situation. Finance bros aren't filming people. They're quietly going in there with both their earbuds in that they never take out. They sleep with them in. They're getting their sweet green, and they're going to rub the nose of the bowl in the finance district. That's what they're doing. For all intents and purposes, they're like actually minding their business. So maybe influencers should try it. I don't know. Like, this is insane. This is insane. How is this an equal comparison? LMAO, finance bros aren't filming in sweet green. This makes no sense. Everyone's like, come on, we gotta stop. Gotta stop. Now we're getting delusional. Here was some more, I believe, rational people responding to the drama.
Am I the only one that thinks that the store that put up that no influencer sign was very obviously just requesting that people don't go in there and film content and take up space from other patrons being able to see and shop?
Most people thought this, by the way, as evidenced by the comments. Like, most people thought this. The only people that didn't think this were people that are like influencers.
The stores on Nantucket are so tiny and there's really not a lot of room to like move around and look at the product unless you're in there to shop. I don't think that they're refusing service to a group of individuals, and I feel like that's like very obvious.
You would think.
And it is kind of funny that these influencers, the first thing is that they're kind of victimizing themselves, being like, I can't go into this store. Like, you can probably go in, they're probably not going to recognize you.
I didn't think of that really, but are they like, they're going to recognize me. I'm a local celebrity. Like, they're going to recognize me from my social media and I'm going to be kicked out. Take me away. Everyone's going to know I'm here. People are going to be coming up to me in the store. There's going to be camera flashes. Like, come on. It ain't that serious.
As long as you're not filming content, I think you'll be okay.
We all must hate influencers because they're overwhelmingly women, not the fact that we are currently living through a climate crisis, a global waste crisis, in which the hyperconsumption habits of people living in countries like the United States are largely contributing to. Influencers who have made hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars peddling bull and stuff to people that they themselves do not even utilize. Ineffective skincare, fast fashion made to be worn once or even twice.
As a result, clothing utilization decreased by 36% between 2003 and 2018, with a third of young women believing that a garment is considered old after it's been worn once or twice. Largely, I think a lot of this can be attributed directly back to influencers.
And dumped in a landfill before your check even clears. Meanwhile, 80% of the people employed in the garment industry are women. Women of color who get paid pennies per hour and who are under constant threat of harassment and SA because your clothing haul fueled the demand.
Guys, it's uncomfortable, but it's real. I don't think anyone expects perfection, but I think when you look at these like hugely wealthy influencers and they have the means to buy ethically made fair trade clothing, and instead they're sourcing their stuff from who knows where, but a lot of their stuff's been previously connected to horribly unethical suppliers. If we really want to get into the weeds, talking anti-women, a lot of these clothes and the success of these clothing brands, like these influencer-led clothing brands, are coming at the cost of the women that are making these garments and are in these unethical, non-fair trade, exploitative suppliers that are in other countries. So she's absolutely right.
And people are waking up to how absolutely destructive and vacuous this entire industry and career is. It couldn't be any of that. It must be because you're a woman.
No lies detected here, okay? It's sort of silly when there's such obviously valid things that people are bringing up. I think honestly where we need to go with this is I think we need to live in reality. I think we need to talk about the things that we agree on. I think we all can see the bad things about influencer culture, and it's okay to call them out. All right. Especially when they come at the cost of other women, other people, you know, they're exploitative. Sometimes they're at the cost of children. Okay. Like there's so many reasons that influencer culture is in the state that it is. And I think it's very valuable to have conversations about why it's in such a bad state. This thing has gotten completely out of control. Not even sure how we got here. Honestly, all of this over a basket store, stupid sign, insane. So anyway, I think I've talked enough. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me hear your thoughts. And if you do like these videos, you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, okay? And leave a like if you did like it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.